Welcome to the Sunday Night Talk, the show where we answer the questions: were the games we watched on Sunday the greatest part of our day? A distraction from our family? Or a way to relive our childhoods? Have you ever thought, why don't they play football like they used to? Can you remember waiting all week just to watch one matchup? Do you remember rushing home to watch SportsCenter? Do you even remember what SportsCenter is? If you can answer yes to those questions, this is the show for you. I am your host, Patrick Ramirez, and along with me is my longtime friend, Omar Carmona. Each week, we watch as many games as we can to see what made us laugh, cry, and genuinely drove us absolutely crazy. And we do that by giving out weekly awards. If you have award winners yourself, you can drop a comment under the video. Thank you so much for listening, and please hit the subscribe button and share with a friend. It's how our little show grows. And if you like what you see, please take a look at my other shows on the channel. There's stand-up comedy, the movie series, and my one-on-one interviews. Now, on to the Sunday Night Talk. Welcome back, everybody. Recording this 10:33 Central Time. Sunday Night Football just wrapped up. It's the Sunday Night Talk. I'm your host, Patrick Ramirez. With me, as always, is Omar Carmona.
Good evening, Patrick.
Omar, it's week 11. What a terrible game ended by a terrible call Sunday night.
Yeah,
I couldn't
awful.
believe this game. I was angry at this game all day. Not all day, all game. So we're going to talk about it. We have a lot to discuss today.
Yeah.
Carry
It
over
was
from last week as
was
well.
a weird Sunday.
Did you think it was weird? I was
thought it
wondering
was-
your thoughts. I enjoyed most of the Sunday games, even starting on Thursday. But you thought it was weird. Why do you say that?
Games like Chargers, of course I become a Chargers fan last weekend and I get their swag. This is the first chance I get to wear it, and then they get blown out by the Jaguars.
That-
I thought that was a weird game, a weird result. It's like Jaguars, they lose some boneheaded games, and then they show up and beat the Chargers, who are coming off a win. Just beat the pants off them. So that was a weird thing to happen.
Yeah, started the fourth quarter. I think it was 28-6. And I was like, oh, what a blowout. And I thought, wait a second, this is Jaguars. And I totally thought, oh, Chargers are going to win this game.
Right.
I was so confident at the beginning of the fourth quarter of that game. It didn't happen the way we think Jaguars games typically go. All right, so it's week 11. I'm going to throw some headlines at you, go through our rundown for those who are new to the show. This is what we're going to talk about today. It's week 11, so we're going to do headlines. We're going to talk about the games. I've got some trivia for you, and then we're going to do the awards and a couple little details. You went to Sunday Night Football last week. I have opened up a DraftKings account. I am now a betting degenerate, and we're going to wrap it all up with a Monday night prediction. So this is our show, everybody, the Sunday Night Talk. So opening question, Omar. Headlines. Now, let me do headlines, and I'll throw my opening question at you. Tampa Bay Buffalo, Game of the Year candidate. Denver on the rise, Casey on the slide. And lastly, somebody tell Detroit they can punt and kick field goals.
Yeah.
So my opening question for you, because I had three big winners today, and they were Buffalo, Denver, and who's the last one I'm leaving out? I did this already too. Oh, the Rams. Why did I forget
Rams,
that?
yeah.
Buffalo, Denver, and the LA Rams were all the biggest winners today.
I
Who
think
were
I
you
think
most
I
impressed
think
with?
well, I think you can add the Eagles to that category after tonight.
Would you? Okay, I wouldn't,
Absolutely.
but you would. Make the case.
Detroit has been playing really good football. Jahmyr Gibbs running the ball very well. Goff is, a very decent quarterback in this league. And we just trust Dan Campbell. So I would think by beating a Detroit team that definitely should be playing in the playoffs, to take to give them a very dominant defensive performance by the Eagles, to take them down like that, to pretty much dominate on the defensive side of the ball like that, Yeah, I think that's a big win, and I think it sends a message to the rest of the NFC.
I think their defense was the most impressive thing tonight. The
They got some
Eagles.
athletes,
Yeah, much over the offense, and just the offensive calls are just giving Detroit a couple extra chances in this game that they really shouldn't have. So were you the most impressed with the Eagles out of these four teams today? Bills, Rams, Broncos.
Mm, I was impressed with the Broncos. I think, and I think I have their hat somewhere around here, Pat.
Mm,
But but
interesting.
I was impressed with the Broncos.
Did you see that coming? Did you think they were going to win this game over the Chiefs at home before? Did you think it was going to be closer? What what was going through your mind there? Oh, what the Broncos hat is there? God, unbelievable.
Um, uh, what was that,
Did you
Pat?
think did you think the Broncos were going to win this game the way they did? Did you think they would lose? Like were they already on your mind as someone that could win this game against the Chiefs going into it?
I definitely thought they could definitely win the game against the Chiefs. A very winnable game, but I think they needed to make that statement. Not only do they have such a giant lead on the Chiefs, I mean, it's a giant lead
Mhm.
on the Chiefs haven't been this far down the standings in that division in over a decade. Um, so that says a lot. So I think it's a statement win, and I think just because it was a divisional game, that's what I think made them the big winners on the day.
Definitely the big statement win for the Broncos that they really, really needed. Funny thing though, that they did it in typical Broncos fashion. I don't know if this was a dominant offense or defense, but a really good performance. Like I wrote it down. This game had a lot of offense with no points.
Right.
Like there was a lot of activity. It wasn't like a defensive struggle. Like they were going down the field. Casey looked like vintage Casey in some spots. Bo
Yeah.
Nix, Bo Nix wasn't complete heart attack Bo Nix, although he had a couple close ones. But yet points weren't really getting on the board in this game, and the Broncos got their statement win in Broncos fashion too.
Yeah. And Broncos lost their leading rusher, J.K. Dobbins, and he may miss the rest of the year. So I think definitely a big win for Bo Nix.
Sean Payton got knocked down on the sidelines. I don't know if you saw that.
Saw that.
it's it's a little secret enjoyment of me is when someone on the sideline gets knocked down when the play kind of goes over the sideline like a trainer or it happened in I think it happened in Baltimore too where
Sure.
one of the coaches got knocked down and they have to pick themselves up. And you know what I haven't seen in a million years is when someone runs into the sideline and knocks over the tray of Gatorade cups.
Classic.
I don't think they have Gatorade tables anymore, right?
I don't
Otherwise,
think so.
yeah, like I haven't seen that in a million years. That was always
Well, I
great.
think maybe they do, Pat. I
Really?
got Stat Boy over here saying um there are some Gatorade tables.
Oh, okay, great. Wow, you have a Denver hat on. You have your own stat boy. This show is really upgraded.
Not a Stat Girl.
Oh, okay. Wow, very diverse. So you were impressed with the Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Bills on my end of things. I think the Bills needed this from last week.
Definitely, and I would say because when you asked, I think you mentioned Game of the Year candidate. I say no way because
Hmm,
it wasn't that close at the end of the game. I
true.
mean,
Hmm.
and but maybe the Game of the Year in regards to performance by an individual player.
Hmm.
Josh Allen, 3 touchdowns passing, three touchdowns on the ground,
Yeah.
6 total touchdowns. That may be the performance of the year.
Yeah, puts himself in the MVP candidate race, and maybe through three quarters, Baker would have been in there too. He was having a great game and a lot of points. Like I don't know if we've seen a game with so many points this year yet, at
Yeah,
least that I can remember.
I mean, I did say it wasn't close. It can't be game of the year because it wasn't. I mean, close at the end,
Yep.
but there was back and forth for those first three
Hmm.
quarters.
Yeah, game of the year like really should be a game that has to be decided on the last drive, and this one was a drive or two before that. Uh,
Yeah,
Maybe potential Super Bowl preview. I wouldn't mind that. That was a very competitive game. Really, it felt like a playoff game watching it. And a Buffalo like early slate game, I always kind of like. I always kind of like Buffalo in the daytime games. Kind of
Right.
cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bills. And how about the Rams though? Did the Rams do anything for you this week
Yeah,
against Seattle?
I think that's another big division win. Um, and now they are leading the NFC West. Uh, Big win. Likely, going to get a home game. I think they should
Mm-hmm.
win the division, over my 49ers, of course. But I think right now they are the best team in that division. They're running the ball well. They pass well. Matt
Mm-hmm.
Stafford, it's just ageless. He's looking like the ageless
Yeah, he's
right
he's
now.
becoming the one for the old guys player
Yeah,
this year. Like we always have
definitely.
one. He looks really good.
Definitely.
And you
Uh,
compare it to like what we saw from Goff tonight, where Goff was just constantly on the run. Every third ball is batted down. He's noticeably rattled. And Stafford had a pretty good defense he went up against today. Complete control.
yeah, yeah.
Complete
But
control out
a
there.
big
So
win. Big win for the Rams.
big win. And
And the Seahawks, that's not to say that the Seahawks are a strong team too. They played the Rams very tough.
yeah, that
Um,
was a weird game. The Rams were in control the whole time, and all of a sudden you look up and the Seahawks crept back in this game.
yeah. So don't turn your back on them either. They may if they sneak in on a wild card, again, because I think the Rams should win. But if they get that one of those wild card spots, they may take a team out.
Well, yeah, you sort of like
That's a, it's, yeah, Patrick, I don't like talking, giving props to the Rams and the Seahawks. Being a
right.
Niners
That's what's
fan.
confusing me here.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Chargers shirt, Broncos hat. I'm talking
Hmm.
about the Seahawks and the Rams,
I
and
know.
uh, and I'm knocking my Niners out of the playoffs. But
Mm.
they're the Seahawks have a very good defense.
All right. Well, you led me right into my next point of all the losers today: Tampa Bay, Seattle, and KC. Who are you still impressed by? And it sounds like Seattle
Yeah,
had the
I'm so very impressed with Seattle.
like Seattle. I thought Tampa Bay was up for the challenge today. It was like a heavyweight fight, and they just kind of took too many body shots, and they couldn't sustain it. But I thought Tampa Bay was really good in a tough environment today.
Of the contenders, I would think that it's Detroit that may scare me the most because they are so one-dimensional with Jahmyr Gibbs when they have two very talented speedster receivers, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Jamison Williams. They have that and a great tight end. But it just seemed like the only one making plays tonight, at least from the way I saw it, was Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, they scare you in the sense of like you're worried about them as far as being able to make a playoff run, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was too. They were so one dimensional, but they found well, let's go to that game. Low scoring, windy, and Detroit's struggling on offense, and they find this gem for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 plays straight where Gibbs is just running all over the field. And it seems like they forgot about him the next drive. They were
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, right. We have Gibbs who like that one run, he almost turned a 12-yard gain into a touchdown. I didn't think they were gonna get him. And Detroit's offense was just so up and not even up and down, just couldn't get more than 2 first downs. And then Dan Campbell is like, let's just go for it on fourth down. We can't score any points. We're down here. It's the one that bothered me the most here. Where is it? Detroit goes for it on fourth and goal. They're down 13-6, and they don't get it. And it's essentially like they were beaten at that point. Say they kick the field goal, it's 13-9. At least they gave their defense a rest. It was almost like they like a boxer that wanted to end the fight instead of win the round. And it just seems like it took them 2 more drives for their offense to like get any motivation again. Did you think Detroit went for it on fourth down too many times? Wait, I lost your audio. Wait, I still lost your audio. I don't know what's going on with Omar's mic. He'll come back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, you're back.
I was
Yeah. Did you
giving the
think
commands.
Detroit went for it too many
I
times
was
on fourth
giving the
down?
kids commands and I had to mute myself and I did unmute. Yes, if you, I think they're going by analytics and I think by analytics dictates that you do go for it more. Um, it just didn't work today.
Yeah. Well, they had no offense and they were going for it. It was just seemed like if you're say it's 13-9 and you just play for another possession, and when it came down to the end, they were down 10. Say you had that three, that makes a big jump. It was I just don't like when they just default to analytics. Like, but what's
Right.
going on in this game? You guys can't score any points, and your
I didn't.
defense was stopping Philly.
I did notice Philly did screw up the tush push a few times.
Um, I think they screwed. Philly gave Detroit so many chances. The tush push. Number one, Detroit stopped on one series. Another
Right.
one, Philly had an illegal procedure, and then the fourth down at the end where Sirianni goes for it, they don't get it, and like, here, Detroit, you haven't done anything on offense. Take a short field.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was not crazy about Philly. Philly, I think I hate Philly. I
Oh,
really think I do. Their fans are obnoxious. Their tush push is obnoxious. I can't stand Jalen Hurts' sad eyes. How upset would you be if Philly is the NFC representative in the Super Bowl again? Because
I want to.
I would be so mad.
Yeah, I want to see someone else. And I don't want to see. I don't want to see a big Super Bowl story as the tush push. It's like
Me
every
neither.
network is going to have their own like interview. Like each offensive lineman is going to be interviewed in their background and where they came from, but and how they feel about the tush push. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see the Nick Sirianni how he doesn't care that they're using the tush push because just stop it if you don't like it. We've seen those interviews. A Big Dom. I don't want to see Big Dom, their
Yeah.
security guy anymore. I'm done with that.
No, I'm complete agreement. I don't like the coach has a bodyguard. The tush push is done, and the poor refs. The refs blew it in this game, but
Oh, and AJ Brown's disgruntled
AJ
and
Brown's mad, doesn't want to be there. And like the refs, there's no way the refs can even spot this ball on tush pushes anyway. There's 18 bodies blocking them. There's no way. I don't like this Philly team at all. And the worst part is, it's not like, oh, you don't like them because they're so good. They gave Detroit plenty of chances in this game by their own dumbass mistakes. And then, of course, in true like hate a game fashion, it ends on a defensive or a pass interference penalty, which was number one, not pass interference, and number two, if anything, it was offensive pass interference. I didn't like this game one bit. It angered me.
yeah.
Did not like it. So I'm with you. I do not want to see Philly in the Super Bowl. For the love of football, I don't want to see it. Unbelievable. We got Chris Collins. We're talking about how he took ballet during this game and how he didn't like it, and the teacher was mad at him. This game was a struggle, I have to say. So, but somehow you still liked Philly's defense. Well, I guess you're right though. Philly's defense was the best part of this Sunday night. They were strong because Goff looked visibly rattled
Yeah.
in this game. So this takes also this is a hit to Dan Campbell, the offensive play caller this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
But his old offensive coordinator, if you want to go to the next game, Bears, Ben Johnson. These are the new cardiac kids. These guys are winning games by field goals every week. Every week it seems like it's going
Mm-hmm.
down to the final drive, and they're winning these games.
Yeah,
Uh,
they really are. Like they were in control most of this game, and Minnesota got back in it, and they had to have a game winner. And Caleb orchestrated. He was pretty good today. I don't think he
I,
had
I,
huge
I,
numbers, but he was good.
I think I've always said this, Pat. It's just one of those franchises that I think you as if you're a football purist, you want to see certain franchises, be relevant. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bears, you definitely want to put that, who doesn't want to tune into a game, even if it's on the TV, tune into a game from Soldier Field, where it's snowy and windy and you know.
Mm-hmm.
We want that, as true football fans. And
Classic NFL franchise. They're gonna leave Soldier Field in what is it, 2 years
yeah,
or
yeah, they're
something
gonna move
soon? So
down to
that'll be a change.
Arlington Heights or something like that.
Something like that. That'll be a change. But Chicago did it mostly on the ground today. They had 147 yards on the ground. Caleb had 193, no touchdowns, no interceptions, got sacked twice. But I think there were two big passes on that final drive that were like over the middle. Like when he gets that protection and he's setting that foot and he's throwing over the middle, that he's really accurate when they run that play. And it took a little bit of luck to get that kick in. Did you see that kick to win the game? It was kind of like a golf shot, and I think the announcer had like 4 different adjectives to describe the kick. He's like, "Look at it. It's listing. It's listing in. It's fading." It was like, "It's a draw." it's fading in. Chicago in the lead in the NFC North. But I think we're going to find out what the Bears are because their schedule gets tough now. So they win today. They are, what is their record?
Are they
7-3.
And Patrick, doesn't that seem insane from where they were not too long ago under Matt Eberflus? It's just you want to talk about a franchise turnaround. To be 7-3, 11 weeks into the season, I think that's remarkable, and I think Ben Johnson is going to be a winner in this league for a long time.
It kind of seems like the Bears are where the Broncos were in like week 2, where it's like, this isn't pretty, but that was a win. And that wasn't pretty either, but they did win. But all right, here's their schedule though coming up. They got the Steelers next week, then the Eagles.
Which, and we'll get to, Aaron Rodgers may be hurt. So
maybe hurt. Yeah, I saw he had a wrist issue. I saw that he wanted to come back and they held him back. So, all right, we'll discuss. They have the Steelers next week, then the Eagles, then Packers, then Cleveland, Packers, 49ers, Lions. So we're going to find out what the Bears are, but realistically, say they go 3-3, say they beat the Steelers, the Browns. No, those are the only ones I think that are like not elite-ish teams. So say they split it, say they go 3-3 and they're 10-6.
Right.
That gets interesting. Gets interesting to see where they are in the division at that point. So
absolutely.
On the flip side, Minnesota's been kind of a disappointment this year, don't you think?
I agree. A big time disappointment. And JJ McCarthy is, I know last year he missed because of injury. But it doesn't seem like he's ready to really lead a franchise right now. Every now and then he's got some plays, looks genius. And then he'll throw some duds out, some head scratchers out there, and you're kind of wondering, where's all this promise,
Yeah.
And again, this really essentially is his rookie year. So I think he does deserve, some grace,
Right.
I guess, so to speak. But you just can't, but he's definitely not playing at the level he needs to be playing right now.
Yeah, it seems like we got high on him a little too quick, a little too early after that week. Was it week 1 against the Bears?
Maybe, yeah.
He really only played good for a quarter, and we're like, this is the guy. We tend to do that with quarterbacks. But yeah, you're right. It's his rookie year, essentially. And he shows those flashes, which is interesting because a lot of these young quarterbacks do that. Even Justin Fields, we're kind of tricked by Justin Fields every now and again.
Yeah.
And even today, I watched that Cleveland-Baltimore game, which I had money on, and they put in Shedeur Sanders in the second half, and he didn't have a great game by any means. He completed all of 4 passes, but there were a couple flashes where like, whoa, look at his feet on this one. Whoa, look at that pass. That wasn't bad. And you're just like just enough to be like, all right, let's give him another play. Caleb Williams with his feet had one play where he spun out of a sack that was unbelievable. And you're like, this is a guy. Like, I don't know what it is I just saw, but that was a move. And we're just mesmerized by it for at least another game and a half, it seems. So these young quarterbacks all like, you see it in them. JJ McCarthy, the same thing. So speaking of quarterbacks, it took us 11 weeks, but it's official. We had ourselves a Jameis Winston sighting. Did you know where I was going with that?
I will. It was that or Shedeur.
Oh, Shedeur. Yeah. Like I wrote it down in my notes. I'm like, when are we seeing Shedeur? And then he got in the game. I was like, all right, finally. But Green Bay at the Giants. The Giants, new coach, new QB. week. And in true Jameis fashion, he made this game fucking interesting. I loved it.
Yeah.
He's dancing, he's moving around. And of course, in Jameis Winston fashion, he had a pick and he
But
got
but
strip fumbled, but who cares?
I jumped on him when the pick was done, like, oh, Jameis being Jameis. But if you see the
Yeah,
film again, I think the receiver stopped.
right.
Um,
I think we can put that one not on Jameis. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I really, really, really did not believe in Green Bay after last Monday night. And
No.
they showed up and actually put
But
27 points up.
yeah, they put 27 points up, but they allowed, the
20.
Giants were in the game, you know.
They
So
definitely were. You're right. Yeah.
I don't know, Pat. I mean, what do you think? I mean,
Well,
I,
it took a whole like failed Hail Mary to really seal this game.
well,
And
how much faith do you have if you're a Packers fan? How much faith do you have in your team?
I'd be skeptical. Jordan Love went out for, I think, a quarter in this game with the shoulder thing, and Malik Willis went in. Actually was just fine at quarterback, but I wouldn't call this an impressive win. I'd say it's ugly, grind it out. I haven't seen a Green Bay that I think can make a deep play. Like, let's be like realistic goals. Can Green Bay make the NFC Championship? I would say there's 3, 4 teams I would pick before Green Bay.
Yep.
I'm not impressed. Are you?
No.
No, me neither. Me neither. But you put Jameis Winston out on the field. I can't wait to see it. What a shot for Russell Wilson too. Like, hey, we're benching you. We're
Yeah.
going with our third guy. Give Giants a little bit of credit for carrying 3 quarterbacks this whole year and being
Definitely.
ready. Oh, you know what else Giants need some credit for too? We got a new coach this week. And how about the Giants with some pretty good play calling and timeout management? Because the Giants are down. The Winston pick comes, and the Giants still have 3 timeouts. They stop the Packers on defense. They use their timeouts, and they get the ball back, and they got a shot. I would say a lot of teams would not go deep into the fourth quarter with all 3 of their timeouts still. So I got to give the Giants some coaching credit for this. They're down, like that Winston pick was in the red zone, right? They were like right there on the goal line. They didn't have to use any timeouts, getting set up, no risking delay of games, and they gave their team a shot. So let me give new Giants coach, whose name I refuse to learn. Let me give them some credit for keeping all your timeouts and giving your team a shot. We don't have an award for it, but maybe an honorary award for that this week. Play call award.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, what teams go to the end of the fourth quarter with all 3 of their timeouts? That's pretty good. Next game, your LA Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. We already talked about it a little
Not
bit.
much to talk about here. It's just
God, that was bad.
bad game. Harbaugh. What team are you going to show up with? You know what I mean?
Yeah, are they that team this year? Like, what team is showing up? Team?
Yeah, they. Um, it's they lost Omarion Hunter. They've had some injuries, especially in their run game. Um, but you expect more from a team that looked very dominant last week against the Steelers. But yeah, you just don't know what team's going to show up, and I think that's the Chargers
Mm.
this year.
I didn't get this game at all. It was a complete disappointment, and the Chargers have had to have their hopes killed today as far as playoffs. Don't you think? Like, if the Chargers have to go on the road anywhere in the playoffs, forget it. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to trust them.
I don't trust them. They're going in my I don't trust you category. Whatever you want to blame, the Chargers are effective. But you want to blame West Coast team going to the East Coast playing an early game? Fine. You want to go blame weather? Fine. I believe it. Everything affects them for the negative. So let's go a little extended Chargers talk and throwing it back to last week because you witnessed the Chargers because you went to Sunday Night Football. You got a shirt, it looks like. You had a hat on. So what was your experience like? We haven't
I
talked
also
about
want
it
to talk.
yet.
You being an LA guy, we also went to see the Clippers the night before at the Intuit. I guess it's called the
Oh
Intuit.
yeah, that's right. They got their own place.
They finally got their own place. They
Mm.
left the old Staples, now Crypto. They left that place and they got their own place. It's in Inglewood, and
Mm,
it's not, and it's walking distance from SoFi. Um, and so that's all real close. But Inglewood's not the prettiest of places.
that's
It's not,
true.
but it's a very simple, it's a very common place. It just seems
Yeah.
very simple.
Yeah, for those who like don't know LA geography, Inglewood is close to the airport. It's kind of
Yes.
in the middle of LA. It's got a few things like SoFi Stadium. Um, it's in an area called Hollywood Park, which has a casino nearby. And now they got the old Forum where the Lakers played a million years ago is there, which is still used for concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
And now they got the Clippers stadium or arena there. And there's something called like I think a YouTube arena or YouTube theater around
Something
there.
like that.
Something like there's all these venues around there. So Inglewood, like if you think it's not a great area now, you should have seen it before. It was a mess. It was straight from the airport. It was motels. It was quite different. So it's on the rise, but it is just an urban sprawl is what Inglewood is. You fly over it when you come into LAX every time.
Yeah.
So, what were your impressions of SoFi?
Oh, it's impressive. It's
Hmm,
impressive.
really?
We had good seats. My son got a chance to take a photo with one of the Steelers. We were behind the Steelers bench. Um, but SoFi is very impressive. The screens, the graphics,
Hmm.
just the organization, the accessibility to hardly any lines. So I liked it.
Oh wow, this is a thumbs up review. I was
I
I
mean,
was
we had
curious.
we had very good seats. So obviously I didn't see any fights that I would typically see from SoFi on YouTube,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I was impressed by SoFi.
What was the Steelers fan to Chargers fan ratio?
Yeah, it seemed like it was a Steelers home game.
Yeah, I was gonna say LA crowds. It's tough. It's tough to get LA crowds. Number one, everyone's from somewhere else in Los Angeles, and number two, LA doesn't really have a team. Even though I mean, you have the Rams, you have the Chargers, but it doesn't feel like they are LA like you would say the Dodgers and Lakers are in LA. Like if you were to pick a team that the city really, really backs, I'd say Lakers. And as of recently, it's probably Dodgers close second. When those teams are really good, the city really, really embraces them. How about the food? What was the food like at SoFi?
Decent. I had a very, very good hot dog.
Oh, really? Okay. There's a little underrated note. The food at the Crypto Center where the Lakers play is really good too. Like it's not
Oh,
just stadium crap food like it is at Dodger Stadium. So
yeah.
good food at SoFi, huh? You had a hot dog, anything else? How were the
I,
drinks?
I think I had two beers.
All right, so this sounds like a really good endorsement for SoFi.
I was very happy with it. I was very happy with it, and I could check that stadium off my list.
Do they call SoFi an outdoor stadium or not? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Like do you call it? It's not a dome, but it's a
Okay.
roof. It's a roof, right? It's not a dome,
I think they call it an outdoor stadium, but yeah, it's covered though, some way.
but it is
Okay.
open air. I
Right.
don't know. Good question. I don't know. We should look into. That's got to be the challenge.
Yeah, get the sweatshop stat kids you have on that. All right, back to the games. Carolina, Atlanta. I'm going to say a phrase. It's not worthy of best quote, but I thought it was an honorable mention. Atlanta has the ball like one last chance, and the announcer goes, "Now it's up to Kirk Cousins." I was like, "Oh, great. This is not good."
Dave Canales, young coach for the Panthers, he's impressing me with the job he's doing. Where that franchise was a couple years ago, and how everybody wanted to throw Bryce Young away, because he wasn't that impressive under the old, under the rule regime. And so he had the best day of his career today.
Hmm.
And Bryce had a great day, and now they're 6-5. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but they're in contention. And and right now, I think at this point, the season being 6-5, they're playing with house money. So I
Yeah.
really like the Panthers.
Yeah, that's true. Every week is a competitive week. They have to get up for, they have to play for. Who knows if they get in the play, even if they get in the playoffs. But
But
yeah, if they got in, then
right, but
this
the
would be a
thing is,
huge season.
but then it's like, but you guys can't lose to the Saints. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so they
This season has done that to us a lot this year, hasn't it? You're like, you
yeah,
lost to who?
right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It was a weird game in the sense Penix goes out, Cousins comes in, and poor Cousins, his arm, he cannot throw. It's weird he's still playing. There
Yep.
was I think it was in overtime where they had first possession. It's like 3rd and 12 or something, and he kind of throws a 15-yard pass, and it skips to the receiver, and you just look at it and you're like, that ball didn't move like other quarterbacks throw the ball. Cousins, oddly, I mean, they still go into overtime, but Cousins' arms looks like that Peyton Manning year where he had noodle arm, but Peyton Manning could complete 15-yard passes. Kirk Cousins, I don't think can. So, but they go
No,
into
right.
overtime, and there was a funny thing in overtime where the two captains go out for the coin toss, and it was Bryce Young and whatever Atlanta player. And Bryce Young is kind of thin and not super tall. And the Atlanta player was kind of slight as well. And the referee, I think, was like 6'4", and he towered over these two guys. I don't know if it was the angle of the camera or the lighting or what, but it looked like the referee, it was like a referee for a youth game because the referee was like a shoulder above all these guys, and he was explaining the rules of overtime for them. To them, I was like, this sounds like a game my nephew would be in right now with the parent referee telling
Right.
them how many timeouts they have, and this is what happens on a coin toss. And little Bryce Young is like, okay, Carolina wins. Drew Brees is back in the booth, Omar. This
I
was his
like
first
it.
game back.
I like it.
I
Glad,
think
glad
Fox
he's
is
back.
gotta insert someone from firing Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, well, man, I think we moved on from the
Yeah.
nightmare that was Mark Sanchez
Or
apparently.
Mark Sanchez is had a rough season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Drew Brees is back. I enjoyed Drew Brees. I thought he was fine. I know everybody gave him shit the first couple years he was on the call, but I think they all get better at it. And if you're a former player and you just kind of go through the details of what you see out there as a player, I think that's pretty insightful. Romo was great on his call today
Yeah.
with Denver. He had one really good thing. Where is it? Yeah, we talked about Denver a little bit, but let's just do the Romo point. Okay, Romo, it's 2nd and 8. And Romo goes through this soliloquy of all the things you can do on 2nd and 8s and all the options to it. And he's calling out what the defense is going to do. And it was a good like 45 seconds of it, and Nance just lets him go. And sure enough, the play they call is textbook. He called it. He was like, Casey is inviting the run. They want Denver to run, and he tells Denver before the ball snap, don't do it. Don't run it. And it was a Bo Nix pass to Franklin for 35 yards, leading to the game-winning kick. It was unbelievable that Romo called it from the booth like that. It was awesome that Casey Denver called by Romo. I think the Romo Nance combo is like a game I always look forward to. I'm like, which game are they doing? Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, and they'll get the big one, of course.
Yeah, look at the big one. Like the Tom Brady game, the Greg Olson one, I always enjoy, but Romo is one I search out. So good job by Romo on there. Let's see, any other early games we didn't talk about? Oh, I have a new name for a skippable game for like Houston, Tennessee.
Oh,
This
pass.
These games are now called the go outside and vacuum your car game.
Right. Don't
Because
even bother.
it's a pain in the ass to go vacuum your car. But if this is the game that's on, you're like, all right, open the closet, get the extension cord,
And it
make
was
it
a
out
close
to the.
game.
Yeah, it was. It was won by a field goal at the end. But I called this the vacuum your car game. He's like, I'll just look at this game later. I'm gonna go do something productive. And then we had a game in Madrid, Washington, Miami. Miami wins.
Miami wins.
I
Wow.
put a question mark by Miami. Should we be more interested in Miami? We wanted
Oh,
to fire their coach 3 weeks ago, and now
I,
they're not too
I
bad.
still I still think he's that seat's too hot. And I think now over the last 3 years, it seems like Miami has consistently regressed. So I still think he's a goner.
Let's see Miami's
I mean,
record. What are
to
so
save
four and
his job,
seven?
he'd have to go on a heater to finish the season.
Okay, here's their schedule: the Saints next week, the Jets, Steelers, Bengals, Bucks, Patriots. So if they'd have to go like 4-2. Like they'd have to pull something magical for him to keep
They'd
his
have to
job.
win the next few games before you get to those last two games.
Right. Well, they can beat the Saints. They can beat the Jets. Steelers, maybe.
Well,
They
again,
can beat the Bengals.
if Aaron Rodgers is hurt,
Right. They can beat the Bengals. And then their last two games are tough, Bucks and Patriots. But who knows if those teams are playing for something,
right?
that portion. So all I'm saying is there's a path where, Josh McDaniels keeps his job. I don't know. I don't know. But now that's why I have a question mark by. I'm like, do we need to pay attention to Miami now? Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. We talked about
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers. What about?
there was also a spitting punching incident
Oh yeah,
in the Steelers game.
yeah. Where do you stand on spitting?
Yeah, he deserves to get punched, and so
Yeah,
you understand that when the referee sees the punch, you're going to get thrown out of the game. But I wish they would review those types of ejections, because Jamar Chase clearly then should have been thrown out as well for spitting.
right. Like both
And
should be
I think
punished.
I think that the ejection is fine for uh for the punch, obviously, because that rule is just never going to change. So I'm cool with him being him being ejected, but that's it. There should be no further punishment. But I do think that Jamar Chase should be suspended for the spit.
Mm. Wow, how judicious of you. Yeah, this what it wasn't it week one. We had the Dallas spitter.
Yeah.
That was this year, right? It seems like a million years
Yeah.
ago. Spitting and sports just sort of go together as an insult.
It was a Dak Prescott thing, right? It was something that happened
Yeah,
to
yeah, that's right. Somebody who spit on who? I can't remember.
that Carter, Jalen Carter was he was upset that he threw a punch at Dak, but I think what
Oh,
the replay didn't the replay show that maybe Dak saliva
right.
came out, but it was not aimed at the defensive player.
I see. Well, if you think about it, spitting is kind of the ultimate sniper rifle. It's you can't see it unless you're really close up to it. So you
Right.
would need a replay if you really wanted to litigate who spit first. All right, good spit talk there. All right, Seattle, LA Rams started off as a pretty good heavyweight battle. I thought the Rams were in complete control. They looked faster than this Seahawks team the whole game. And Darnold's 4 picks were the story of this game to me. Because Seattle outgained the Rams in this game.
They really did. Yeah.
Too many turnovers.
Too
Too many
many.
turnovers to it. So the Rams, you like the Rams
Yeah.
in your division.
They're gonna win.
Looking sharp. All right, well let's stay in your division then. Because your San Francisco 49ers got Brock Purdy back,
Got Brock Purdy
and
back.
they
Things
had
look
a
good.
pretty nice little game here against Arizona.
It was a dominant performance. Special teams played well. So very positive, and I'm hoping maybe they can string some wins together now that Brock is back and Ricky Pearsall is playing. George Kittle is healthy and playing very well. McCaffrey, but again, I think it's just going to be they're going to go as far as their defense can take them. And so defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, he's going to have to dial up something special if they have any chance to make the playoffs.
I had a few emotions during the San Francisco game. Number one, they're up big, and it looks like everything's clicking for them. Purdy's back, and I just wrote down like the gang is back. It's just like everybody was happy. Everyone's like, we got all our faces here. Everybody's having a good time. I was like, this was a true Sunday fun day for the 49ers. Like everything was going great. And then I got a little nervous because like, oh no, get Purdy out of the game. The game is sealed. Take him out. Like we don't want to risk any dumb injuries. Get all the starters out of there. This is a win. There's no need to keep playing everybody into the fourth quarter. So I had that thought as well. And then lastly, in a pretty boring game, the broadcast, I think it was Fox, had some pretty cool drone shots of like landscapes in Arizona.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I don't like usually when they do like the city like drone shots, it's like of the streets and restaurants. And I was like, hey, Arizona's pretty beautiful. I thought they did a good job with that. The sunlight, you had these like mountains, these desert scapes. Arizona looked great on TV there. So Purdy, you're happy he's back? You gotta be.
Very happy.
Very happy. Okay, let's look at San Francisco's remaining schedule. Next week, you got the Panthers. I feel that game is going to be oddly tough for some reason.
I agree. I agree.
That is the. Oh, that's Monday. They have Monday night next week.
That's right.
Then they go to the Browns. Then they have the Titans. Then the Colts. Then the Bears. So the Niners have got to be on it this end of the season. They got to win. I mean, seriously, in this tough division, they have to win out, don't you think?
Yeah, it's almost to that point.
And they are at 7-4. So whoever's going to win this division has got to win out. Purdy's back. I think there's some momentum on their side. I like the Niners all of a sudden. And then lastly, Baltimore, Cleveland. Took some time, but Baltimore wins this game. We got a Shadur Sanders sighting. Baltimore.
Lowest quarterback rating in NFL history for a game.
Oh, yeah. He looked like this was his first game. And you put him out there against a Baltimore defense that was pretty good.
But no, Baltimore's been, I mean, their defense has let them down the last, so and they have
True. They look good in this game, I guess.
They look good in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in Shadur's face the whole time. He was struggling. Whatever like euphemism you want to use, because the announcers used rough, raw, struggling, all for Shadur Sanders. But then again, he had a couple first down runs that were pretty good, and they lost by 7, but mainly because of all the Baltimore miscues. Baltimore's fumbling a punt. There was a tipped interception. There was another bad Lamar interception. Baltimore gave him some chances, but the Ravens are 5-5, and I feel like they're going to be tough in every single week. But do you think they actually have a shot at getting in this playoff mix?
Yes, they have a shot in that division.
I think they do too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, who is in there? Or I'm going to look up their remaining schedule. Let's see who they have. Okay, there we go. They're 5-5. They had the standard rough start to the NFL season. All right, next week, the Jets. Then the Bengals, Steelers, Bengals again, Patriots, Packers, Steelers. So it's not going to be easy. It's not an easy schedule for Baltimore. So we'll see what they got going into the remainder of the season. But they're 5-5, and Derrick Henry looked good. They were always like one play away, Baltimore, from like punching it in, settle for a field goal. Punching it in, settle for a field goal. But God, I don't want to count them out. I don't want to count Baltimore out. I think they're gonna be in the playoffs some weird way. I guess we'll wait and see on there. I would be, let's see, who is it? Yeah, like that Steelers game in a couple weeks is gonna be awesome. I have a feeling. So we'll see on that. So you thought Shadur Sanders? What were your just initial snapshot thoughts of him in this game?
I mean, he's nowhere near he needs to be either. So it's going to be a while. It's definitely
Right, but this is like his his rookie year, his first
it's the first game.
any playing time.
Yeah, but he needs he needs to not focus on his Instagram right now. He doesn't need to be
Right,
focused.
but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, he needs to figure it out then.
Well, I was thinking, why did it take so long for him to get in there? And they didn't put him in. The starter went out with concussion protocol, so they weren't even going to play him. Like, why not see what you have? See what these guys got, unless he's that bad in practice that they're like, guy, this guy knows 4 plays and that's it. We can't put him out there if we want to. But they finally put him in. I thought it was a fun experiment. I think it's a Shedeur Sanders experiment, basically. He needs playing time, and then hopefully he makes that jump in the offseason. But I'm with you. Something is not up to par with the other rookie QBs, that's for sure. I thought he had a shot, though. Can you imagine if he somehow pulled this game off?
Well,
What we'd be talking about on Monday? This would be the classic overreaction
absolutely.
Monday. Fun. We may have a young Jameis Winston in the making.
There we go.
Okay, that was the games. Now we got a few little details before we do trivia.
I'm going to get another drink.
All right, you go ahead. We are going to do trivia for Omar, and we're going to talk about my new detail that we've been talking about for, I guess, since the beginning of the season. I've been placing my practice bets because for some reason I think I have a mind for NFL gambling and handicapping, but I never put any actual money down on anything. I look at the spreads every week. I look at the over-unders, and I make my little decisions. So finally, I decide to open up my own sports betting account, and I did it. And these were my bets this week. I made 3 bets.
I'm back. All right. You made 3 bets.
All right. Yes. I now open up a sports gambling account, and I thought it would be easy at first.
Don't you go get indicted either.
Oh, right. For like corruption, for fixing games. Yeah. Right. It seems easy to do these days too, to get in trouble with gambling. So first it's harder than you think, because I'm like, all right, I'm going to open an account. Wait, which one of 18 online betting platforms should I choose?
Right.
There's so many. And I'm watching ESPN, and ESPN is essentially a gambling show now. That's all ESPN is.
I mean, it's so disappointing.
Yeah, ESPN has fallen way off the map for me. I never watch ESPN other than Monday Night Football anymore.
ESPN, Disney, they sold out.
Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, like ever since we got all the scores we want on our phones, like there's no reason to tune into the sports recap at the end of the day anymore. We already know. Like, what do we want to hear somebody's sideline interview?
Instagram gives us all the highlights. You know, we don't need to see that.
Yeah, player interviews. They're doing it on their phone on Instagram right after the game. There's no need to go to ESPN. And I was watching some old ESPN on YouTube, and ESPN used to be really fun. There was a segment they had called Come On Man. Do you remember Come On Man?
Oh, mm-hmm.
And they would just find little funny things on the sideline, and they would freeze it. The player would have a silly face on. They would freeze it. And it was a funny segment. They used to do Jacked Up or someone get hit hard. They had to stop that, understand. But I don't know who watches ESPN anymore other than degenerate gamblers, which I will be one day. So here are my 3 bets.
I'm listening.
I said I'm going to bet $50, and I'm going to spread it around 3 games. And I bet Baltimore-Cleveland. I bet Baltimore to cover the spread of 7.5. I lost that one. Then I bet Green Bay, New York Giants. I bet the over. I won that. And then my saddest bet of the day, I bet the LA Chargers to cover 3.5 points, and I sadly lost that one.
You didn't do it.
No, although I told you, I thought they were in the start of the 4th quarter. I was like, I'm not counting the Chargers out. Jacksonville loses these games all the time. So I went 1-2 this week, but I was poking around on the app, and there's such a thing called live betting, where you can bet during the game on the game. And I looked at your San Francisco game, and they were up like 15 or 16 points. And the live bet was San Francisco 15 and a half. And I was like, should I bet this? And I was like, nah, I don't know. They're going to, Arizona's going to get a score. 2 touchdowns later, I was like, I should have bet that. San Francisco won by like 25 points. Damn
Mhm.
it.
No,
So
I don't like it, Pat.
I went one for 2. That's not bad.
I mean, good for you. I'm just I think ultimately this gambling is going to take away from the integrity of all sports.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I would argue it's already happened. We just never had it so obvious in our face before.
Oh, no, but like ESPN and all the advertising that's been done by DraftKings
Hmm.
and other networks with FanDuel and all that. I mean, that's a lot.
Oh, there's such a huge industry. Well, there it always was a huge industry, but now we have it on our phones, and you can bet anywhere. Whereas in the past, you had to go to Vegas or you had to find some shady alleyway. Now you're like, oh, I'll do it from my couch. Oh, and let me bet San Francisco 15 and a half because this game looks like a blowout. But I may dabble in live betting for next week instead of picking a game beforehand. So that's my thought.
I'm gonna talk to you off air about your gambling addiction.
What are you talking about? I'm a one week in. And I won one bet. That was pretty good.
With that mustache, you look like you owe
Yeah.
some bookmaker some money.
I know I shaved and then I got to just the mustache. I was like, oh, I'm gonna give this another day. And then I opened up a sports betting account. Look what's happened to me.
Yeah, you're getting all slimy over there.
Yeah, that's right. Let me see how long I can go with this thing. Probably another 24 hours. So next week, I will plan for another $50 and I will spread it among 3 different bets, is my thought. 20 on 2 I like, and just 10 on one that I don't feel as confident at. That's my plan for it. I don't think
Okay.
I'm ready for live betting yet, so it might be another over under and point spread. It's my thought. So here we go, everybody. Next week, back on. So that was my betting extravaganza. God, I wanted to bet that 49er live bet so bad. I was like, okay, hold on. Don't get crazy. Keep it to your 3 bets. So that was my betting. That was Omar's SoFi experience. Before we get to the awards, I got some trivia questions for you, Omar. This is going to be something fun and different because, on a sad note, last week we lost former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue.
Mhm.
Kind of, he was a bit of the commissioner of our youth, I would say. We were around for a little bit of Pete Rozelle, but by and large, it was
So
Paul
we came up
Tagliabue.
with we came up during Paul Tagliabue's NFL.
Hmm. He was the captain of the NFL ship for much of my football youth. Passed away. So I got 4 trivia questions for you about Paul Tagliabue.
All right.
Let's see how you do. I have put no money on this trivia game, just so you know. So you know this is completely fair and objective. Question number 1. What nationality is Tagliabue? Oh, look
I
at
am
that.
I am going to guess Italian.
You would be correct. Tagliabue is Italian. I've never heard anyone else with that last name before. It's a very unique name.
Yeah.
You know what I think gives it away is if you take away the boo and you hear
Yeah.
Taglia, you're like, oh,
Italian,
okay, I
yeah.
could hear it. Yes, that is an Italian name. All right, 1 for 1, Omar. Question number 2. One of Paul Tagliabue's greatest accomplishments was keeping the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. They wanted to move the team. What city did they want to move to?
San Antonio.
2 for 2. You got it.
I was living in San Antonio during that time.
Really? Was there a bit of an uproar for people who wanted them to come to the city?
We wanted them real bad. And San Antonio had a track record of getting behind their teams, even though they're a smaller market.
Hmm.
The way the Spurs are.
Yeah, that was Spurs era too, San Antonio.
And there is a lot of industry in San Antonio, a lot of big companies. So there is money there. It was going to be obviously. I think Jerry Jones did not like the idea because it was, I think, too many. You're coming to my territory, type thing. But and then the Houston Texans had just started
Hmm.
playing. A few years before that. But yeah, there was some pandemonium when we thought that. But I think ultimately they said we couldn't. I think the NFL couldn't possibly take the franchise away from the city of New
Yeah.
Orleans for everything they had gone through.
Yeah, it's listed as one of his biggest accomplishments is keeping that team in New Orleans. The New Orleans ownership wanted to move and they kept him there, which I mean New Orleans is just such another one of those NFL staples franchises that was great there. And then that was a great story when they did come back
Yeah,
after Hurricane
block
Katrina,
punt.
like how great the block punt game, the fans supported the team. And then how many years it was a couple years after that that they won the Super Bowl. It was a great story for
Yeah,
that
it was.
franchise. All right, 2 for 2, Omar. Question number 3. What state did Paul Tagliabue punish by taking away the Super Bowl for not recognizing federally MLK Day?
Okay, to repeat it one more time.
What state did Paul Tagliabue punish by taking away their Super Bowl for not celebrating or recognizing federally MLK Day, meaning the Super Bowl was going to be hosted by this state?
I am going to guess Georgia.
It was Arizona. The 1992 Super Bowl was slated to be in Arizona. Paul Tagliabue took it away from him. They did not grant MLK Day as a federal holiday. And that Super Bowl went to Pasadena. That was the Cowboys Bills Super Bowl, their first one. But don't worry, he didn't. He uplifted that ban because the Super Bowl was there 2 years later, and Arizona still doesn't recognize MLK Day federally. But he took it away in '92. Arizona. All right, last question. This is going to be a tough one. Paul Tagliabue went to college on a basketball scholarship. What Northeast University did he go to?
I'm going to guess
All right,
Yale.
you got a couple clues there.
Do it
Northeast.
again.
Paul Tagliabue went to college on a basketball scholarship. What
I want to guess
college?
Prince. I want to guess Princeton.
Okay, what college in the Northeast did he go to? You're going to go Princeton, huh? All right, you got a couple clues there. Northeast, basketball. You're going to go Princeton. Paul Tagliabue is a smart guy. Princeton, final answer?
Final answer.
Paul Tagliabue went to Georgetown.
Georgetown. Nice.
Yes, basketball player. All right, those were the questions. You went 2 for 2. Pretty good on some tough trivia questions there. The Tagliabue one, I wasn't sure you were going to get. All right, that brings us to the awards. We give them out every week. Let's start with most memorable moment. Well, it definitely wasn't from the Sunday night game, I'll tell you that much. How about a game with 9 lead changes? Buffalo, Tampa Bay had 9 lead changes in their game.
Crazy.
That's a great moment. I'm going to give that game my winner. No other nominees today either.
As you're, well, I got one kid. Yes.
Oh, the labor camp. Labor camp. Did he figure out if there's Gatorade tables on NFL sidelines anymore?
There are.
Hmm.
So,
So just nobody's hit him in a long time. I guess they're way more protected. All right. What do you got for most memorable moment?
most memorable moment. Gosh, there were quite a few. But I think I'm just gonna have the memory of I think the passing of the baton in the AFC West. It looks like we are going to have a new division champion in the Denver Broncos this year.
Yeah, it really looks that way, right? Because Casey's not even in the playoffs as of right now.
Right.
I really can't imagine that they don't get in. But as of right now, they, I mean, they're not winning these games like they used to, and they're just so out of it right now. I can't imagine them not getting in, though. Do you?
Right. I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, like they're gonna get in some way somehow. Ooh, maybe I can bet that. I think they're gonna get in. Now the excitement's gonna be just watching how they do it. So you like this new shifting of the guard, Denver, as the new AFC powerhouse. God, they're a weird team though. Denver. All right, next award. Cringeworthy moment for the week. I got two nominees this week. I'm gonna throw them at you, unless you have one that you want to start out with. I got two
I'll start off
nominees.
with I want to start off with JJ McCarthy. It was cringeworthy. Shador Sanders cringeworthy again. I know they're rookies essentially, but it was some bad quarterback play.
Yeah, yeah. Against I mean, well, Shador's completed four passes, and I think all those four were pretty lucky as well. The fact that he ran for two first downs made it seem like, oh, but he was totally overwhelmed in that game. He took a bad sack, he took a bad intentional grounding as well. So that's a good nominee. Very cringeworthy. I got two nominees. Number one, I got Kirk Cousins' arm. Is very cringeworthy to see him throw.
Yeah, it was bad.
And second nominee, Dan Campbell's red nose. Do you see Dan Campbell's nose in this Sunday night game? Why was
It
it
was,
so red?
I don't know. I guess I really didn't notice it.
Well, I didn't seem like it was that cold that night, but he had a very red nose. I thought that was kind of cringeworthy. But I'm going to give it to Kirk Cousins' noodle arm. It's rough to see. I have a feeling he's going to throw it out. Just like he's going to have a classic non-contact injury, and Kirk Cousins is just going to go off the field,
Right.
straight into a announcer's booth somewhere. All right, next award, Best Innovation Award. This one's a stretch from me, but I had to put it down. It was a commercial during the Sunday night game with Kevin Hart for a tequila brand, and he's trying to invent something called a tequila timeout. Did you see this commercial?
No, I
He's
did
like,
not.
he's like, hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Kevin Hart. Well, sometimes you got to call a tequila timeout. And then he pours himself a tequila with ice. I don't know a lot of people that drink tequila with ice. Do you?
No.
I didn't think so either. I was like, tequila timeout. I mean, that's going to my best would-be innovation.
Isn't it better chilled?
I've heard of that. Yeah, I can't say I heard too many people drinking tequila with ice, except for Kevin Hart. So I went with a tequila timeout is a best innovation, but I don't think that's caught on yet. So that is a best innovation that he's trying to make happen. Tequila timeout.
I want to go with my best since I was just it was so fresh in my mind. The new stadiums, the innovation of new stadiums and the
Mm,
technology and just how cool everything, such a massive place that SoFi was, but yet everything was so accessible. So my best innovation is the advances that these architects are making in state of the art stadiums.
that's definitely true. Back in the day, stadiums were just round. They were just big
Oh,
circles.
Candlestick was so ugly.
Yeah.
I went to San Diego one year, in their
The
old
Murph,
stadium, the Murph, and
Jack Murphy.
awful stadium,
Yeah. Also, stadiums used to be someone's name, and now
right?
they're, a corporation name. But yeah, we had the Joe Robbie, we had Jack Murphy,
Jack Kent Cook,
Jack and Cook. And then we had names for them like the Murph and the Big Sombrero and Three River. The ones that always confused me was Riverfront and Three Rivers. I always would forget which team had which,
right?
you
Three
know.
Rivers is Pittsburgh.
I don't know. I still don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Three Rivers is Pittsburgh.
I see. Yeah, and now stadiums are not round anymore. They're these architectural marvels
Right.
that look like something from outer space. Yeah, that's a good one. Do you have a stadium that is on your list that you really want to see?
Lambeau.
Lambo, that's a good one. That maybe that's one of the last enduring classics, just a round classic stadium. Yeah, Lambo. Yeah, that's got to be on your list. Wow. Well, maybe if we have a little NFC Niners go to Green Bay playoff, is this potential?
Potential.
Oh, wow.
Potential.
Also with Lambo, you really got to plan your cold weather clothing, I'd imagine. Because
Absolutely.
that's going to be late in the year and you just kind of sit in a seat for 3 hours. So there's you do not warm up. All right, good innovation. Next award, the Hot Take Award. Are you ready for mine? You're either going to shake your head at this or you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's obvious. Here's my Hot Take Award. The Raiders try to acquire Mac Jones next year.
Ooh, hot take.
Can I share with you something our friend Dino sent me that aggravated me?
Please.
I think Dino did this on purpose to troll me. Dino is kind of like the Donald Trump of our friend group. He just trolls people to get reactions. He's like, oh, are you going to run for a third term? Maybe. Like, you're just trolling us now. And I think that's what Dino was doing. He wrote to me, the Raiders should hope the Giants tank the rest of their season. That way, the Raiders and Pete Carroll can try and trade for Russell Wilson so that he can be together with Pete Carroll again, because that's the
Oh,
best option. I'm
I
like,
hope
what?
I can see where you were upset.
I'm upset for a few reasons. Number one, why would the Raiders try and take on another quarterback contract when they have Kenny Pickett? You can start Kenny Pickett. Start him. Secondly, what positive outcome could come from this, Dino? our good friend Dino. What is he doing sending me this? He's trolling me, right? I didn't respond. I'm not dignifying this with a response. I totally ignored it. So that's part of where that hot take came from is my lifelong friend, Diamante Williams, who's been on this show, has trolls me through text now about ridiculous trades the Raiders should make. So I thought the Raiders were going to try and acquire Mac Jones for next year. It sounds like a Raiders move, to be honest. Doesn't sound like Geno has got a second year in him, is what I'm saying. All right, what do you got? Hot take award.
Hot take award. I think I kind of let it out of the bag. But I believe that the NFC the AFC West is over.
Oh,
And I think the NFC West is almost there too with the Rams. I just think that they're poised for a good run. And so I think the West is on there. There are two kings of the West right now.
interesting. Yeah, the AFC West is what would you call it? It's sorting itself out, the AFC West. NFC West, not yet. We're going to need a few more games in the AFC West. Okay. All right, next award. Casting Couch Award. Mine is just a pitch right now. Mine's just an elevator pitch. And I took it from Shadur Sanders getting some playing time today because I was thinking about Deion Sanders. How come we never had a really good dual sport athlete movie? Don't you think we could do something with a dual sport athlete movie? Something about him choosing a sport, having to make a decision, maybe dollar signs over here, but a better opportunity over here, city, draft versus contract. So I think we need a dual sport athlete award. It doesn't even need to be football, baseball. It could be something else too. That's my elevator pitch. Dual sport athlete has to make the decision of his life. That's the tagline.
I like it.
It's very raw right now. I don't have anything beyond that. What do you think? Any casting couch award?
No, I like yours. I'm gonna tag along. I like that.
Do you like the idea of going non-traditional football, baseball? Maybe golf? Could we go golf and something like tennis?
Ooh, I like that. I think a tennis one would be interesting.
Right? Because now we factor in not necessarily professional life. This could be like Um, I'm going to make golf YouTube videos, and that's getting to millions of views. I got a career here if I become my own media company with golf versus tennis. Golf and tennis. All right. Next award, best quote. Two nominees for me. This one's, I don't think he's ever been nominated before. Chris Sims has a best quote, and it's this pregame of the Sunday night. The Chiefs are in trouble in the AFC West. I was like, damn, I don't think we've heard that statement in like 7 years. But he's right. The Chiefs are in trouble in the AFC West. And he said it all cryptic, too. He was like, the Chiefs are in trouble in the AFC West. I was like, wow. So I got that nominee. And I got from my new favorite wide receiver, A.J. Brown, if you have me on fantasy, you should trade me. I'm like, whoa.
He needs to stop complaining, and he needs to focus on they're leading their division, so he needs to focus on that right now.
Yeah, this is the rare unhappy player on a team that's winning.
Right.
It's very unusual for AJ Brown. It's not unusual a receiver is upset, but it's unusual that it happens on a good team like this. Apparently he's been upset. He was upset last year too. That's strange. But also with my sports gambling addiction now, this might be like a ploy to like throw off the gamblers, or maybe like the mafia's involved and like, hey, say you want out, and I say okay, and now it throws off all the betting lines. So those are my two nominees. I got to give it to AJ Brown because that's a funny quote. Say, hey, you should trade me to his fantasy owners. All right, what do you got? Best quote.
I ain't spit on nobody, says Jamar Chase.
I saw that. That was good.
So we are. I think there's going to be at least another day of storylines here.
Spitgate. That's pretty good. Next award, the play call award for the week. All right, mine's easy because I watched this game because I had money on it. Baltimore had 4th and inches, and they line up for their own tush push, and they put their tight end Mark Andrews under center, and they're like all gearing up for the tush push. They snap it, and he does like a sweep. He totally fakes everybody out. He spins and runs off tackle for a touchdown. I was like, oh, I love when they do something different with the play we all think we know is going to happen. So I got to give it to Baltimore and the Mark Andrews fake tush push end around play call award. They scored a touchdown on it too.
I like the new Jameis quarterback sneak where he did a quarterback sneak and gained 10 yards.
I knew you were going to pick something with Jameis. Oh, I didn't see that. I'm going to go back and watch that. A quarterback sneak for 10 yards?
Quarterback sneak for 10 yards. He wouldn't go down.
That's great. I just love that we're going to have Jameis Winston for the rest of this season. God bless this man. I haven't even heard his press conference yet from after the game. Because like with Jameis Winston, when the game ends, it's not over. We still got the press conference with him to say some funny stuff. I like that. Last award. Who won the week? Omar, you want to start or?
No, I think I think as far as from an individual standpoint, Josh Allen is back in the MVP discussion, and the Denver Broncos getting that big win at home against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I went with the Baker Josh Allen QB duel. I don't think we've had a big QB duel in a long time. It reminded me of a Marino Elway type of battle. So I went that QB battle, and I'm just looking at all the other matchups. Like I couldn't give anything to Philly. I wanted to give the Rams some sort of win, but I don't like the way they let Seattle sneak back into this game. Denver, I cannot be confident in Denver. And I know they keep winning. I'm not confident in them. So I couldn't give it to them. Green Bay, no. It's got to be this QB duel. It was pretty awesome, these two.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
You know, the only bad thing about NFL or football in general is like if you have a QB duel, they don't really play each other. because they're both on offense. They don't play each other. They watch one quarterback and then they get in. So it's hard to have a QB duel, but this was one. But I did used to like long time ago when someone like Brett Favre would get into it with Warren Sapp, on the field, they would talk trash to each other. Like that's a pretty
Sure.
good one-on-one trash talking duel. Whereas basketball, you can go at each other all game long. So QB duel. That's my who won the week. All right. That brings us to one last game.
One more game,
You know
Pat.
it's coming.
It's coming.
That's right. And this is a good one, maybe, possibly. Monday night, wrap it up, do your laundry while you watch this game,
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna
or
watch.
watch intensely, because it's Dallas at my Las Vegas Raiders. I haven't given up the ship yet on the Raiders, although I know playoffs are out, but doesn't mean we can't still finish the season off
I
well.
think from your perspective, Pat, anytime your favorite team is playing the Cowboys, it's must-see football.
Got to get up for an icon matchup. Got to get up for Monday, whether it's Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. It's a too big a stage to say whatever. So we got Dallas and Las Vegas Raiders. Don't worry, I'm not touching this game from a gambling perspective. I'm too close. I can't gamble on something this close. But all right, I'm going to let you pick the game first because I'm too emotional. Dallas at Las Vegas Raiders. What do you think?
Well, Patrick, I've been reading now that we've come to the Raiders game. I have been listening to my new audiobook. I finally got into the Raiders Badasses.
Yes, yeah, I listened to a few segments of it.
The Badasses and Patrick. I mean, I think me not being a Raiders fan, but me over the years watching you and your fandom. And if you go through these old stories, I kind of like saw why somebody would be attracted to the Raiders. It's a remarkable story of how Al Davis basically built a franchise in his own personal image, and how John Madden and Al Davis historically gave Madden his credit, and Madden consistently gave Al Davis his credit. But to see how that team to only get one Super Bowl in those years, it seems kind of crazy with all the talent they had, you know.
What do you mean,
But
in the 70s?
in the 70s, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think they only got the Super Bowl in 76, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and they were in that AFC Championship game so many times over. They were like the
With the
bridesmaids.
Dolphins, with the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
It was always, a great rivalry with the Chiefs for so many years. So and I mentioned this because one, I recommend the book, but two, you got me feeling nostalgic, Patrick. I am gonna go Raiders 23, Dallas Cowboys 21.
Oh, I like it. I like it. The Raiders struggle on offense, but the Cowboys have no defense. So we get this weird. Sometimes it's like they got a great offense, but that's a great defense. This game's the opposite. We don't have a lot of offense, but they don't have a lot of defense. So it's going to be a fun matchup in that regard. The Raiders' defense against the Dallas offense, I think, is the big storyline in this game. I think that's going to be where our excitement is. But of course, gosh, I got to go Raiders. It's going to be a weird score night. Raiders 16, Dallas 12. Weird score night. It's going to be one of those weird ones. I'm not betting on it, so this is just a pure assessment. Yes, I did take a gander on some segments of the book you sent me, and just the stories of the stuff that goes on before we even get to games is fascinating. I listened to one where it was the night.
Their preseasons were fascinating.
The Raiders are just the Kardashians of the NFL, especially in the 70s and 80s, because number one, they just had all these like renegades on their team. And it starts from the top. Al Davis wanted to take over the NFL. And he's like, no, I'm going to make my own franchise. He has his own franchise, and I'm going to do it my way and all this stuff. And then he's this bridesmaid of can't get to the big game, can't win the big game. And the segment I listened to was the night of the Pittsburgh AFC playoff game, the Immaculate Reception game. is this whole story on one of the players and the Pittsburgh fans finding out where his hotel was.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
and back in the day, crazed fans would find out where opposing teams' hotels were and they would terrorize them. They would pull fire alarms, they would make prank phone calls, they would knock on doors. And these fans like wanted to beat up this player. And the whole segment was just about this player avoiding the fans getting out of the bar restaurant. And I don't think there's another franchise or team that has so many games that have an iconic name. There's the Immaculate Reception, there's the Sea of Hands, there's the Holy Roller. What other team has all these names for
So many things.
for
And
games?
then a team with everyone had like, it was cool. It was a section where everyone had this nickname, uh,
Mhm.
the assassin, yeah, it was just
Yeah, the assassin was
the
Cliff
mad
Branch, the snake.
the mad stork, snake, foo,
Hmm.
Dr. Death. I mean,
Yeah, it was, and it's just a franchise that kind of touches the wild side of the NFL fan. And just look at the fans. The fans are nuts and essentially turned a game into Halloween.
Al Davis's philosophy, just basically let them be kids.
Right. It served him in a lot of ways, and in many ways, over I would guess you would say the second half of his ownership kind of burned us. We were kings of acquiring that player that was at the end of their career.
Yeah.
Just go through all of them: Jerry Rice, Romanowski, Warren Sapp, Randy Moss. And it was like, maybe he's got a year left in him. Nope, he doesn't. Marshawn Lynch, Carson Palmer. Like, what other team would do that?
Right.
It's odd. And the second half of the ownership, the Mark Davis years, you could have some real criticisms over how the team was mismanaged over the years. It's kind of difficult, but you have to think these things swing back your way at some point. But as dedicated fans, and what it means to be like a Raiders fan is kind of personal for a lot of people. I mean, it's personal to all NFL fans, but Raiders fans, when my years of living in LA and I talked to a lot of Raiders fans, there's a big Mexican component to Raiders fans for some reason, because it's LA, it's outcasts. There's something about Raiders where like you want to feel you're an outcast and you want to feel part of something, with the Raiders. And then there's also a component where it's like, I'm just a crazed biker and I'm a Raiders fan. And I'm like, I'm just going to scrap. I don't care what happens.
Absolutely.
So it touches the wild side in all of us, I think, as a Raiders fan as well. Me being a Raiders fan in a city that never had professional football was that outcast portion of it. It's like this, yeah, I am the only one who is part of this. I am an outcast in my city. And I kind of enjoy that in some weird way. So from the psychological standpoint, that's what kind of gets me as a fan of a team that is not represented in your city. So makes me really wish we can swing it back our way. Maybe it can start tomorrow. Raiders, Monday night. All right, that was the Sunday Night Talk. We got deep there for a second. Week 11.
Week
Give
11.
this channel a like. Give it a subscribe. We do it every Sunday night. This was the Sunday Night Talk for me, Patrick Ramirez. For Omar Carmona, enjoy Monday night. We'll see everybody next week. Good night, Omar.
Night.